The gift sits there, wrapped in cheerful paper, while the Capricorn in your life stares at it with the enthusiasm of someone who just discovered their taxes are being audited. You've witnessed this scene before, haven't you? That moment when excitement drains from their face faster than water through a broken dam, replaced by a polite smile that feels colder than a January morning. What you're seeing isn't rudeness or ingratitude. You're witnessing the complex psychological machinery of one of the Zodiac's most misunderstood signs grinding to a halt. Capricorns operate on a frequency that most people simply don't understand, while the rest of the world celebrates spontaneity and embraces the philosophy of it's the thought that counts. These Saturn-ruled individuals exist in a reality where every possession must earn its place through quality, functionality, and timeless appeal. Their homes aren't just living spaces. They're carefully curated museums of meaningful objects that tell the story of a life lived with intention and purpose. The tragedy of Capricorn gift-giving failures runs deeper than simple preference differences. When you hand a Capricorn something cheap, flashy, or thoughtless, you're not just giving them an unwanted object. You're inadvertently communicating that you don't see them, don't understand their values, and haven't invested the time to learn what makes them tick. For a sign that builds relationships with the same methodical care they used to build their careers, this misunderstanding cuts to the core of how they process love and respect. Born between December 22nd and January 19th, Capricorns carry the weight of ancient wisdom in their practical souls. They're the Zodiac's CEOs, the individuals who understand that true luxury isn't about price tags or brand names, but about craftsmanship, durability, and purposeful design. When they look at a potential addition to their carefully organized world, they're not just seeing an object, they're evaluating its long-term impact on their space, their routine, and their peace of mind. The irony is that Capricorns are actually incredibly generous gift givers themselves. They research extensively, save money specifically for meaningful purchases, and often give presents that recipients treasure for years or even decades. They expect this same level of thoughtfulness in return, not because they're demanding or ungrateful, but because quality consideration is their primary love language. Understanding this fundamental truth transforms every future gift-giving opportunity from a potential minefield into a chance to strengthen your bond with these remarkable individuals. The 12 gifts we're about to explore aren't just random pet peeves or Zodiac stereotypes. They represent systematic violations of the core principles that guide Capricorn decision-making in every area of their lives. Each mistake reveals a deeper misunderstanding of how these earth signs process value, beauty, and emotional connection through material objects. So why do these specific gift categories trigger such strong negative reactions in Capricorns? The answer lies in understanding that for this sign, receiving a gift is never just about the moment of exchange. It's about integration, purpose, and the long-term harmony of their carefully constructed environment. Before we dive into these 12 relationship-threatening gift choices, make sure to subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac and hit that like button so you never miss our astrological insights that could save your relationships. The first category of gifts that make Capricorns internally wince might surprise you, but once you understand their reasoning, you'll never make these particular mistakes again. The first reason: cheap plastic gadgets or, as seen on TV, items. Picture this scenario. You're scrolling through late-night television or browsing through a discount store when you spot what appears to be the perfect solution to a problem you never knew existed. The enthusiastic announcer promises revolutionary results. The price seems too good to pass up, and you think about your Capricorn friend who's always so organized and practical. Surely they'd appreciate something that claims to make life easier, right? Wrong. Devastatingly, relationship-threateningly wrong. When a Capricorn unwraps a plastic vegetable chopper that promises to revolutionize your kitchen experience, or a gadget that claims to solve 20 different household problems with one flimsy contraption, their internal quality detector immediately goes into overdrive. These Saturn-ruled individuals possess an almost supernatural ability to assess the longevity and actual usefulness of any object within seconds of contact. They can feel the hollow cheapness in the plastic, sense the wobble in poorly constructed joints, and predict the exact moment when hinges will break or blades will dull beyond repair. The deeper issue here extends far beyond material quality concerns. Capricorns view their living spaces as extensions of their personal brand and professional reputation. Every item in their home serves as a reflection of their standards, their taste, and their commitment to excellence. Introducing a poorly made gadget into this carefully curated environment feels like asking them to display a billboard advertising their acceptance of mediocrity. They'd rather perform tasks manually with tools they trust than risk the frustration of equipment failure during important moments. Furthermore, these impulse buy items violate one of Capricorn's most sacred principles, the research phase. Before purchasing anything beyond basic necessities, Capricorns typically read reviews, compare options, investigate manufacturing processes, and sometimes even research the company's business practices. The idea that someone would bypass this entire process and choose a product based solely on flashy marketing claims suggests a fundamental misunderstanding of how their decision-making process works. The environmental implications also weigh heavily on the Capricorn conscience. As earth signs, many Capricorns have developed strong awareness of sustainability issues and the global impact of disposable consumer culture. Receiving a gift that was clearly manufactured for short-term use forces them to become unwilling participants in a wasteful cycle they actively try to avoid in their own purchasing decisions. The second reason, overly cutesy or childish decorations. The moment you place a stuffed animal wearing a miniature sweater or a decorative sign reading "Live, Laugh, Love" in rainbow letters into a Capricorn's hands, you've essentially announced to the world that you perceive them as someone who lacks sophisticated taste and mature sensibilities. This isn't about being snobbish or pretentious. It's about the fundamental disconnect between their carefully cultivated adult identity and the juvenile aesthetic you've just suggested they embrace. Capricorns often mature earlier than their peers, taking on responsibilities and developing serious outlooks on life, while others their age focus on lighter pursuits. This early maturation shapes their aesthetic preferences permanently. They gravitate toward classical designs, neutral color palettes, and decorative elements that would look appropriate in both residential and professional settings. The idea of displaying cartoon characters, inspirational quotes in Comic Sans font, or anything that sparkles without serving a practical purpose conflicts with their desire to be taken seriously in all aspects of life. The psychological impact of receiving childish decorations extends beyond simple aesthetic disagreement. For many Capricorns, these gifts trigger concerns about how others perceive their maturity level and professional competence. If their closest friends and family members think they'd enjoy decorating with juvenile items, what does this suggest about the image they're projecting to the world? This self-reflection can create unnecessary anxiety about whether they're being taken seriously in important areas of their lives. Consider the specific example of themed holiday decorations covered in cartoon characters or overly saccharine sayings. While many people find these items cheerful and festive, Capricorns often view them as temporary clutter that requires storage space for 11 months of the year. They prefer decorative items that can remain displayed year-round without looking seasonally inappropriate, maximizing both aesthetic value and practical utility. The social implications also matter significantly to status-conscious Capricorns. When colleagues, clients, or professional contacts visit their homes, every visible item contributes to the overall impression of competence and reliability. Displaying obviously childish decorations could undermine the professional reputation they've worked years to establish, creating cognitive dissonance between their public persona and their private environment. The third reason, last-minute gift cards with no thought. Nothing reveals the gift giver's lack of planning quite like a generic gift card hastily purchased from the grocery store checkout line 5 minutes before arriving at the celebration. While gift cards might seem practical on the surface, especially for notoriously picky Capricorns, They actually represent everything this sign finds frustrating about modern convenience culture: the substitution of genuine effort with monetary shortcuts. Capricorns appreciate the planning process almost as much as they appreciate the final outcome. When someone gives them a carefully chosen, well-researched gift, they recognize and value the time investment, the consideration of their preferences, and the advanced preparation required. A last-minute gift card sends the opposite message, that their gift was an afterthought, an obligation fulfilled with minimal effort and consideration. The timing aspect particularly bothers Capricorns because they typically begin their own gift-giving preparations weeks or even months in advance. They create lists, set budgets, research options, and sometimes even wait for sales on specific items they've identified as perfect for recipients. Discovering that someone else invested zero advanced planning in their gift feels like a fundamental mismatch in values and relationship investment levels. Generic gift cards also force Capricorns into an uncomfortable position of having to make decisions under pressure. Many gift cards come with expiration dates or inactivity fees, creating artificial deadlines that conflict with their preferred deliberative shopping process. They'd rather receive no gift at all than be forced to make rushed purchasing decisions to avoid losing the card's value. The impersonal nature of gift cards particularly stings when they come from people who should know the recipient's preferences intimately. When a close friend or family member resorts to a gift card, it suggests either laziness or a concerning lack of attention to the Capricorn's interests, hobbies, and current needs. This perceived indifference can damage relationships more than people realize. Moreover, Capricorns often overthink the gift card selection process themselves. Should they use it for something practical they need anyway, making the gift feel like reimbursement rather than a present? Should they splurge on something luxurious they wouldn't normally buy, potentially violating their own budget principles? Should they save it for a special occasion, risking expiration or loss? These unnecessary decision trees transform what should be a pleasant gift experience into a source of ongoing mental labor. The most painful gift card scenarios involve stores or services that don't align with the Capricorn's actual shopping habits or interests. Receiving a gift card to a trendy fast fashion retailer when they prefer classic, high-quality pieces, or getting credit for a restaurant known for loud, chaotic atmospheres when they prefer quiet, intimate dining experiences, demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of their preferences and lifestyle choices. Even well-intentioned gift cards can backfire when they come with unspoken expectations. Some gift givers expect detailed reports about purchases made with their cards, creating additional social obligations around what should be a simple transaction. Others become offended if the recipient doesn't use the card immediately, not understanding that Capricorns prefer to research options thoroughly before making any purchase decisions. The solution isn't avoiding gift cards entirely, but rather putting genuine thought into the selection process. A carefully chosen card to a specific store the Capricorn has mentioned loving, accompanied by a thoughtful note explaining why you selected that particular option, transforms the experience from lazy convenience into considerate facilitation of their interests. These three gift categories represent fundamental misunderstandings of how Capricorns process quality, maturity, and thoughtfulness. The common thread connecting cheap gadgets, childish decorations, and thoughtless gift cards is the underlying message they send about the gift giver's perception of the recipient's standards, sophistication, and worth as a relationship investment. The fourth reason: bright neon or overly flashy clothing. Walking into a Capricorn's closet feels like entering a high-end boutique where every piece has been selected for its timeless appeal and versatility. You'll find crisp white shirts that could transition seamlessly from boardroom presentations to weekend brunches, tailored blazers in classic navy or charcoal, and carefully chosen accessories that whisper sophistication rather than scream for attention. Now imagine the cultural shock when someone presents them with a neon green tank top featuring glitter letters spelling party animal, or a sequined jacket that catches light like a disco ball. The disconnect isn't simply about personal taste preferences. Capricorns approach their wardrobe with the same strategic thinking they apply to career advancement and financial planning. Every clothing purchase represents an investment in their professional image and social positioning. They understand intuitively that people form impressions within seconds of visual contact, and they refuse to leave this crucial first impression to chance or whimsical fashion trends. Consider the psychological framework behind Capricorn fashion choices. These individuals often visualize themselves 5, 10, or even 20 years into the future when making clothing decisions today. They ask themselves whether this piece will still look appropriate when they receive their next promotion, attend important networking events, or meet potential business partners. A neon pink dress might look trendy in current fashion magazines, but will it photograph well in professional headshots? Will it age gracefully? Can it be styled multiple ways to maximize cost per wear? The practical considerations extend beyond professional appropriateness. Capricorns often prefer clothing that photographs well under various lighting conditions, travels without extensive care requirements, and coordinates easily with existing wardrobe pieces. Bright neon colors and flashy embellishments fail on multiple practical levels. They require specific lighting to look flattering, demand careful storage to prevent damage to delicate decorative elements, and often clash with the neutral foundation pieces that form the backbone of a versatile wardrobe. Color psychology plays a significant role in Capricorn fashion preferences. They gravitate toward colors that convey authority, reliability, and competence. Deep blues suggest trustworthiness and stability. Classic grays communicate sophistication and neutrality. Rich blacks project elegance and power. Bright neons, particularly electric yellows, hot pinks, and fluorescent greens, send entirely different psychological messages that conflict with the professional image most Capricorns work deliberately to cultivate. The social dynamics around flashy clothing also concern image-conscious Capricorns. When someone wears extremely bright or attention-grabbing pieces, they become the focal point of group interactions. All eyes turn toward the person in the sequined top or neon jacket. For Capricorns, who prefer to command attention through competence and intelligence rather than visual spectacle, this forced spotlight feels uncomfortable and counterproductive to their relationship-building strategies. The fifth reason: joke gifts or prank items. The moment you place whoopee cushions, novelty socks with ridiculous sayings, or any item designed primarily for humor into a Capricorn's hands, you've essentially announced that you view them as someone who lacks dignity and seriousness of purpose. This reaction might seem overly dramatic to more light-hearted signs, but understanding the Capricorn psychology around humor reveals why these gifts feel more like personal attacks than expressions of affection. Capricorns possess sophisticated senses of humor, but their comedy preferences lean toward wit, irony, and intelligent observation rather than physical gags or juvenile pranks. They appreciate humor that demonstrates cleverness and social awareness, not jokes that rely on surprise, embarrassment, or the breaking of social conventions. A perfectly timed, dry observation about human nature will make a Capricorn laugh genuinely, while a fake spider jumping out of a gift box will only make them question your understanding of appropriate social behavior. The deeper issue with prank gifts involves the underlying power dynamics they create. Most pranks require one person to become the target of amusement for others, placing them temporarily in a vulnerable or foolish position. Capricorns work extremely hard to maintain dignified presentations in all social situations, viewing their reputation as one of their most valuable assets. Any gift that threatens to undermine this carefully constructed dignity feels like an assault on their core identity and social positioning. Consider specific examples of how joke gifts backfire with Capricorns. A coffee mug that changes color to reveal an embarrassing message when hot liquid is added might seem harmless and fun to the gift giver, but the Capricorn recipient immediately calculates the social risks. What if they use this mug during a video conference call? What if a colleague visits their office and sees the revealed message? The gift transforms from a moment of levity into a source of ongoing anxiety about potential professional embarrassment. Novelty clothing items with humorous sayings present similar problems. A t-shirt reading, "I'm not arguing, I'm just explaining why I'm right," might accurately capture a Capricorn's logical nature, but wearing it sends mixed signals about their professionalism and maturity. They begin overthinking every social situation where this item might be appropriate, ultimately deciding it's safer to never wear it at all, rather than risk sending the wrong message at the wrong moment. The timing of joke gifts often compounds the problem. These items frequently appear during holiday celebrations, birthday parties, or other occasions when Capricorns are already managing complex social dynamics and trying to maintain appropriate behavioral standards. Adding an element of forced humor or potential embarrassment to these already challenging social situations increases their stress levels, rather than providing the intended entertainment value. Prank gifts also violate Capricorn expectations about reciprocity and gift exchange equity. When they give gifts, Capricorns typically invest significant time researching the recipient's actual needs, preferences, and interests. They choose items that will provide genuine utility or pleasure over extended periods. Receiving a joke gift in return feels like an insulting mismatch in investment levels, suggesting that their relationship isn't worth serious consideration from the gift giver. The sixth reason: trendy items that will be outdated quickly. Fashion trends move at lightning speed in our hyper-connected world, but Capricorns prefer to invest in pieces that transcend seasonal whims and temporary cultural obsessions. When someone gives them this year's must-have accessory, the latest viral gadget, or clothing featuring current slang phrases, they're essentially asking the Capricorn to participate in a cycle of planned obsolescence that violates their fundamental beliefs about value, sustainability, and intelligent consumption. The financial mathematics alone horrify most Capricorns. Trendy items typically command premium prices during their peak popularity periods, but their value plummets dramatically once the cultural moment passes. A handbag shape that cost $300 this season might be completely unwearable next year when fashion magazines declare it so last season. Capricorns would rather invest that same money in a classic leather bag that will look appropriate and stylish for decades, providing superior long-term value despite the higher initial cost. Trendy items also create storage and organization challenges that practical Capricorns find deeply frustrating. Their closets and living spaces operate on carefully planned systems where every item earns its place through regular use and ongoing relevance. Trendy pieces often experience brief periods of intensive use, followed by long stretches of obsolescence, disrupting these efficient organizational systems without providing sufficient value to justify their continued presence. The psychological pressure associated with trendy items particularly bothers Capricorns, who prefer making decisions based on personal preferences rather than external social pressures. Wearing or displaying trendy pieces requires constant awareness of their current status in popular culture. Are those shoes still fashionable, or have they crossed the line into dated territory? Should that home decor trend continue for another season, or is it time to replace it? These ongoing cultural calculations exhaust Capricorns, who would rather focus their mental energy on more substantial concerns. Consider how rapidly digital trends cycle through popularity and abandonment. Social media platforms rise and fall within years. Streaming services change their interfaces and policies constantly, and electronic devices become obsolete almost before consumers finish paying for them. Capricorns observe this endless churn of digital trends with skepticism and concern, preferring to invest in technologies only after they've proven their staying power and genuine utility. The social signaling aspects of trend participation also conflict with Capricorn values around authentic self-expression. Following trends requires accepting that external arbiters of taste will dictate personal choices, surrendering individual agency to collective fashion movements. Capricorns prefer to develop their own aesthetic sensibilities based on what actually appeals to them personally, rather than what magazines or influencers declare currently acceptable. Environmental considerations add another layer of complexity to the trendy gift problem. Fast fashion and rapidly cycling consumer trends contribute significantly to waste streams and environmental degradation. Many Capricorns have developed strong ecological consciousness that makes them uncomfortable participating in systems designed around frequent replacement and disposal of functional items. The irony is that many genuinely classic items were once trendy before proving their lasting appeal. The key difference lies in the underlying design, principles, and construction quality that allow certain pieces to transcend their original cultural context and become timeless. Capricorns have developed sophisticated abilities to distinguish between items with lasting potential and those designed primarily to capture momentary attention without providing enduring value. Understanding these fashion and style preferences reveals how deeply Capricorns integrate their clothing choices with their broader life strategies and value systems. Every wardrobe decision connects to larger questions about professional advancement, financial responsibility, environmental consciousness, and authentic self-expression. The seventh reason: overly emotional or sentimental knickknacks without practical purpose. Enter the world of decorative heart-shaped trinkets, ceramic figurines declaring eternal friendship, and picture frames adorned with rhinestones spelling out inspirational messages. These items populate gift shops across the globe, designed to capture fleeting moments of emotional connection and transform them into permanent physical reminders. Yet when these well-intentioned tokens of affection land in Capricorn hands, they trigger an internal conflict between appreciating the sentiment and managing the practical reality of owning objects that serve no functional purpose beyond emotional symbolism. Capricorns experience deep emotional connections and value meaningful relationships intensely, but they prefer expressions of love that integrate seamlessly into their daily routines rather than demanding dedicated display space for purely sentimental purposes. A beautifully crafted wooden cutting board engraved with a meaningful date serves the dual purpose of honoring a special memory while providing practical utility in meal preparation. A ceramic mug featuring a personal photograph becomes both a cherished keepsake and a functional part of morning coffee rituals. The spatial mathematics of sentimental objects particularly challenge Capricorns, who view their living environments as carefully calibrated ecosystems where every item must justify its presence through regular use or exceptional aesthetic contribution. Purely decorative sentiment pieces often fall into an uncomfortable middle ground, too personally meaningful to discard, but too impractical to integrate naturally into organized living spaces. They become dust-gathering obligations that require periodic attention without providing corresponding value. Consider the psychological burden of owning objects that carry emotional weight but lack practical application. When a Capricorn looks at a decorative angel figurine gifted by a beloved grandmother, they experience simultaneous waves of affection for the giver and frustration with the object's space requirements and maintenance needs. This internal contradiction creates unnecessary guilt about feeling ambivalent toward items that represent important relationships. The display expectations surrounding sentimental knickknacks add another layer of complexity. Many gift givers expect their emotional offerings to occupy prominent positions in recipients' homes, creating visible proof of the relationship's importance. Capricorns find themselves navigating delicate social dynamics around which sentimental items receive prime display real estate and which get relegated to less visible locations, all while maintaining the illusion that every piece holds equal significance. Seasonal rotations of sentimental decorations present particular challenges for Capricorns, who prefer consistent environmental aesthetics. Holiday-themed sentiment pieces require storage solutions and scheduling systems to ensure appropriate display periods, transforming what should be joyful seasonal celebrations into logistical management exercises. The mental overhead of tracking when to display autumn leaves, decorations, or Valentine's Day figurines conflicts with their preference for low-maintenance living systems. The multiplication effect of sentimental accumulation over time creates exponential storage and organization problems. Well-meaning relatives and friends continuously contribute new sentiment pieces for birthdays, holidays, and special occasions, gradually overwhelming available display and storage capacity. Capricorns face increasingly difficult decisions about which emotional tokens deserve continued accommodation and which must be discreetly retired to make room for new arrivals. The eighth reason: anything requiring immediate assembly or complex setup. Picture opening a gift box to discover an array of mysterious components, instruction manuals written in confusing technical language, and small hardware pieces that seem designed to disappear the moment you look away. For most people, assembly-required gifts represent exciting projects and opportunities to create something meaningful through personal effort. For Capricorns, these gifts transform moments of celebration into homework assignments with unclear deadlines and uncertain success probabilities. The timing factor creates the primary source of frustration. Gift-giving occasions typically occur during busy holiday periods, family gatherings, or special celebrations when Capricorns are already managing complex social obligations and schedule pressures. Adding a time-intensive assembly project to these already packed periods creates stress rather than joy, forcing them to choose between appearing ungrateful for not immediately engaging with their gift or sacrificing other important commitments to tackle the construction challenge. Capricorns maintain carefully structured schedules that allocate specific time blocks for work responsibilities, personal maintenance, social obligations, and relaxation activities. Surprise assembly projects disrupt these planned systems, creating ripple effects throughout their organized routines. They prefer gifts that enhance their existing lifestyle pass-ons rather than demanding schedule reorganization to accommodate new project requirements. The instruction quality variable adds uncertainty that particularly bothers detail-oriented Capricorns. Poorly written assembly guides with unclear diagrams, missing steps, or translation errors transform what should be straightforward construction processes into frustrating puzzle-solving exercises. They'd rather receive a pre-assembled item of slightly lower quality than wrestle with confusing directions for a potentially superior product that might never reach completion due to documentation problems. Tool requirements present additional complications for Capricorns, who prefer self-contained solutions. Assembly projects often assume recipients own specific screwdrivers, hammers, or specialty equipment that may not be readily available. The need to purchase additional tools before completing gift assembly creates unexpected expenses and shopping delays that further complicate what should be simple enjoyment of a thoughtful present. Quality uncertainty throughout the assembly process creates ongoing anxiety for perfection-oriented Capricorns. Unlike professionally manufactured items that arrive in finished condition with quality guarantees, assembly-required gifts depend entirely on the recipient's construction skills and attention to detail. Capricorns often worry about making irreversible mistakes during assembly that could compromise the final product's functionality or appearance. The success probability calculations that Capricorns automatically perform when encountering assembly-required gifts often lead to procrastination and eventual abandonment. They mentally catalog all the potential failure points, time investments, and tool requirements, then conclude that the risk-to-reward ratio doesn't justify immediate action. The gift boxes end up stored in closets with good intentions, but no concrete completion timeline. Storage implications for unfinished assembly projects particularly frustrate organization-focused Capricorns. Partially completed projects occupy valuable space while generating ongoing guilt about incomplete tasks. The gift becomes a visual reminder of unfinished business rather than a source of satisfaction and appreciation. The ninth reason: flashy jewelry with fake stones or cheap metals. Jewelry occupies a unique position in Capricorn wardrobes as both personal adornment and investment portfolio component. These individuals often prefer owning fewer pieces of genuine quality rather than extensive collections of costume alternatives, viewing their jewelry selections as long-term assets that should maintain or appreciate in value while providing decades of elegant enhancement to their appearance. When someone presents them with obviously artificial gems or metal alloys that will discolor skin or tarnish within months, they're essentially asking the Capricorn to compromise their standards around both aesthetics and financial wisdom. The authenticity principle runs deep in Capricorn psychology around material possessions. They prefer honest materials that present themselves accurately rather than imitations designed to deceive casual observers about their true nature. A simple sterling silver necklace earns more respect than an elaborate piece featuring cubic zirconia attempting to masquerade as diamonds. This preference extends beyond jewelry into all areas of their consumer choices, from furniture construction to food ingredients to professional credentials. Skin sensitivity issues affect many Capricorns who have learned through experience that cheap metal alloys often contain nickel and other substances that cause allergic reactions, skin discoloration, or persistent irritation. Receiving costume jewelry feels like being asked to risk personal comfort for the sake of temporary aesthetic enhancement, a trade-off that rarely seems worthwhile to practical-minded earth signs who prioritize long-term well-being over short-term fashion impact. The professional implications of wearing obviously artificial jewelry concern status-conscious Capricorns who understand that clients, colleagues, and business contacts often make subconscious judgments about competence and success based on visible quality indicators. Jewelry pieces that clearly announce their costume nature through poor construction, artificial shine, or unrealistic gem sizes can undermine professional credibility in subtle but significant ways. Maintenance requirements for costume jewelry often prove more demanding than caring for genuine pieces. Real gold and silver develop attractive patinas over time and can be professionally cleaned and restored when necessary. Fake materials require careful storage to prevent tarnishing, gentle handling to avoid chipping artificial finishes, and eventual replacement when deterioration becomes too obvious to ignore. The ongoing care investment rarely justifies the initial cost savings. The gift-giving implications create additional social complexity. When Capricorns receive costume jewelry from people who clearly invested significant thought and financial resources in their selection, the recipients find themselves caught between appreciation for the giver's intentions and disappointment with the practical reality of owning pieces they'll likely never wear. This internal conflict generates guilt about being ungrateful while reinforcing preferences for quality over quantity in future gift suggestions. Storage and organization challenges multiply when costume jewelry accumulates over time through multiple gift-giving occasions. These pieces require the same storage infrastructure as genuine jewelry, but provide significantly less satisfaction during organization and selection processes. Capricorns often find themselves maintaining elaborate storage systems for items they rarely use, creating ongoing organizational overhead without corresponding lifestyle enhancement. The economic mathematics of costume jewelry particularly frustrate financially savvy Capricorns who prefer making purchases that provide measurable long-term value. Money spent on artificial pieces generates zero future recovery potential, while investments in genuine materials maintain resale value and often appreciate over time. This perspective makes costume jewelry gifts feel like forced participation in economically inefficient consumption patterns. Value retention over time represents a crucial consideration for Capricorns who often pass meaningful jewelry pieces down to future generations. Genuine materials maintain sentimental and financial value across decades, becoming treasured family heirlooms with stories and significance. Costume pieces rarely survive long enough to develop legacy potential, making them poor candidates for the multi-generational thinking that characterizes many Capricorn decision-making processes. The 10th reason: self-help books about letting loose or being spontaneous. Walking into any bookstore reveals entire sections dedicated to helping people embrace spontaneity, overcome perfectionism, and learn to go with the flow. These publications promise liberation from structured thinking, freedom from excessive planning, and the joy of living in the moment. When well-meaning friends and family members select these titles for their Capricorn loved ones, they're essentially delivering a message that translates to, your fundamental approach to life is wrong, and you need professional guidance to fix your personality. The underlying assumption behind these gift selections reveals a profound misunderstanding of how Capricorns have achieved success and satisfaction in their lives. Their methodical planning, careful preparation, and structured approaches aren't character flaws requiring correction. They're sophisticated life strategies that have enabled them to build stable careers, maintain healthy relationships, and create secure foundations for their futures. Suggesting they need to abandon these proven methodologies feels invalidating and dismissive of their achievements. Consider the psychological impact of receiving a book titled The Art of Spontaneous Living, or Why Perfect is the Enemy of Good, from someone whose opinion matters to you. The implicit message suggests that your natural personality traits are problematic enough to require literary intervention. For Capricorns who have spent years developing their organizational skills and planning abilities, these gifts feel like criticisms disguised as helpful suggestions. The irony deepens when you examine the authors and methodologies promoted in these spontaneity-focused publications. Most successful self-help authors maintain rigorous writing schedules, carefully planned book tours, and systematic marketing strategies to promote their spontaneity philosophies. The business infrastructure supporting the Embrace Chaos message typically relies on highly organized, methodical approaches that mirror traditional Capricorn operating procedures. Professional implications add another layer of concern for career-focused Capricorns. Many industries and leadership positions specifically reward the planning, preparation, and systematic thinking that spontaneity books encourage readers to abandon. Engineering projects, financial planning, legal proceedings, and medical treatments all require exactly the kind of methodical approaches that these publications frame as limiting or problematic. The timing of such gift presentations often compounds the offense. These books frequently appear during periods when Capricorns are managing complex projects, navigating challenging transitions, or handling increased responsibilities that demand extra organization and planning. Receiving suggestions to let go and embrace uncertainty during these crucial periods feels tone-deaf and disconnected from their current reality. Research methodologies behind many spontaneity-promoting publications often lack the rigorous evidence standards that appeal to analytically minded Capricorns. They prefer advice backed by peer-reviewed studies, longitudinal data, and systematic observation rather than anecdotal experiences and motivational speculation. Books promoting personality changes without solid empirical foundations trigger their skepticism rather than their enthusiasm. The 11th reason: surprise party invitations or any gifts that thrust them into unexpected public attention. The surprise party represents everything that challenges Capricorn psychology: unpredictable timing, loss of control over social variables, inability to prepare mentally for group dynamics, and forced participation in events they had no voice in planning. When someone presents them with surprise party invitations, flash mob participation requests, or any gift that requires immediate public engagement, they're essentially asking these earth signs to abandon their core stress management strategies and embrace chaos for entertainment purposes. Mental preparation rituals play crucial roles in Capricorn social success. Before attending any gathering, they typically research who will be present, consider appropriate conversation topics, select clothing that suits the occasion and audience, and mentally rehearse potential interactions. This preparation isn't neurotic anxiety. It's strategic planning that enables them to present their best selves and contribute meaningfully to group experiences. Surprise events eliminate all preparation opportunities, forcing them to navigate complex social terrain without their usual supportive frameworks. Energy management becomes particularly problematic when Capricorns receive surprise social obligations. They typically budget their interpersonal energy carefully, allocating specific amounts for work interactions, family obligations, and social commitments. Unexpected events disrupt these energy allocations, potentially leaving them depleted for previously planned activities or important responsibilities. The spontaneous celebration might seem like a gift to the organizers, but it feels like an energy theft to the recipients. Control preferences extend beyond simple personality quirks into practical considerations about personal presentation and social positioning. Capricorns often prefer choosing their own photographers for important events, selecting venues that reflect their taste and standards, and controlling guest lists to ensure comfortable social dynamics. Surprise events remove all these control elements, potentially creating lasting documentation of moments when they felt unprepared or uncomfortable. Professional boundary management becomes complicated when surprise events occur during work periods or conflict with business commitments. Capricorns often maintain strict separations between professional and personal activities, carefully managing how colleagues perceive their private lives and social relationships. Surprise celebrations can blur these boundaries in unwanted ways, particularly when work contacts become unexpected participants in personal celebrations. The reciprocity expectations surrounding surprise events create additional social pressures that burden Capricorns, who prefer clear social contracts and mutual planning arrangements. When someone organizes a surprise celebration, they often expect enthusiastic gratitude and future reciprocal gestures that may be difficult for the recipients to provide authentically. The social debt created by unwanted surprise attention generates ongoing relationship complexity. Photography and social media documentation during surprise events particularly concern privacy-conscious Capricorns who prefer controlling their digital presence and public image. Unexpected celebrations often generate numerous photos and videos that may be shared across social platforms without the subject's input or approval, creating permanent documentation of moments when they felt unprepared or uncomfortable. The 12th reason: anything labeled fun or silly without clear practical purpose. The fatal flaw lies not in the fun itself, but in items that prioritize entertainment value over functional utility, while demanding permanent space in carefully organized living environments. Capricorns can appreciate humor, enjoy playful moments, and engage in recreational activities, but they struggle with possessing objects whose primary purpose is generating momentary amusement without providing ongoing practical benefits or meaningful aesthetic enhancement. Storage mathematics create the fundamental problem with purely recreational items. Every possession requires dedicated space, periodic maintenance, and mental overhead for organization and care. When items provide brief entertainment followed by indefinite storage obligations, the cost-benefit analysis rarely favors retention. Capricorns would rather experience fun through activities and events that create memories without generating physical accumulation. The definition of fun varies dramatically between personality types, creating frequent mismatches between gift-giver intentions and recipient preferences. What strikes impulsive personalities as delightfully silly might feel frivolous or annoying to more serious individuals. Adult coloring books, novelty kitchen gadgets, or decorative items featuring cartoon characters often fall into this category, providing entertainment for some while creating organizational burdens for others. Purpose hierarchy plays a central role in Capricorn possession evaluation. Items that serve multiple functions or provide lasting value rank higher than single-purpose entertainment objects. A beautiful chess set serves recreational, decorative, and intellectual development purposes. A whoopee cushion serves only momentary amusement before becoming storage dead weight. The multifunctional items earn their place through diverse utility, while purely silly items struggle to justify continued accommodation. Quality standards around recreational items often disappoint Capricorns, who apply consistent evaluation criteria regardless of an object's intended purpose. Cheaply made fun items that break easily, require frequent replacement, or deteriorate rapidly under normal use violate their principles around value and sustainability. They prefer recreational investments that provide years of reliable enjoyment rather than brief amusement followed by disposal necessity. Social signaling concerns arise when purely silly items become visible to colleagues, clients, or professional contacts who might question the owner's maturity and judgment. Capricorns carefully curate their environments to support their professional reputations and personal brand development. items that could undermine these carefully constructed images create ongoing anxiety about potential negative impressions. The philosophical disconnect around fun-focused consumption reflects deeper differences in how various personality types approach leisure and recreation. Capricorns typically prefer active engagement over passive entertainment, experiences over possessions, and activities that provide skill development or relationship-building opportunities. Purely silly items rarely align with these recreational preferences, making them poor investments in the recipient's actual interests and values. Maintenance obligations for recreational items often exceed their entertainment value over time. Novelty items frequently require special care, unique storage solutions, or periodic attention to prevent deterioration. The ongoing commitment required to maintain these possessions transforms initial amusement into recurring responsibility without corresponding reward. Environmental consciousness adds another evaluation layer for ecologically minded Capricorns, who consider the life cycle impact of their consumption choices. Items designed primarily for brief entertainment often contribute to waste streams without providing sufficient value to justify their environmental costs. This consideration makes silly gifts feel irresponsible rather than thoughtful. Understanding these 12 gift categories reveals the complex value systems and practical considerations that guide Capricorn preferences across all areas of life. Their standards aren't arbitrary or difficult. They're systematic approaches to building meaningful, sustainable, and purposeful lives through thoughtful choices and careful resource management. Now that we've journeyed through all 12 gift disasters that make Capricorns internally cringe, you're probably seeing a clear pattern emerge. Every single item on this list violates the same fundamental principles that guide how these earth signs navigate their entire lives. Whether we're talking about cheap plastic gadgets that scream disposability, overly emotional knickknacks that demand space without providing function, or surprise party invitations that eliminate their crucial preparation rituals, each mistake reveals the same underlying misunderstanding of what actually matters to Saturn-ruled individuals. The common thread weaving through every Capricorn gift failure is the clash between temporary gratification and lasting value. These individuals have built their entire approach to life around making choices that pay dividends over time, rather than providing momentary satisfaction. When you give a Capricorn something trendy that will be outdated next season, you're asking them to participate in a consumption cycle that fundamentally conflicts with their investment mindset. When you present them with joke gifts or prank items, you're prioritizing brief amusement over their carefully cultivated dignity and professional reputation. Understanding what Capricorns hate receiving is actually the master key to discovering what they truly cherish. They want gifts that demonstrate genuine understanding of their values, respect for their aesthetic sensibilities, and appreciation for their methodical approach to building meaningful lives. The perfect Capricorn gift doesn't have to be expensive, but it absolutely must be thoughtful. It should serve a clear purpose in their daily routine, maintain quality standards that align with their other possessions, and reflect the giver's investment of time and consideration in the selection process. Think about the psychology behind their preferences for a moment. Capricorns often take on significant responsibilities early in life, developing mature outlooks and sophisticated taste preferences, while their peers focus on lighter pursuits. They've learned through experience that quality choices made today create better outcomes tomorrow, whether we're discussing career moves, relationship investments, or consumer purchases. Their gift preferences simply reflect this same forward-thinking perspective applied to material possessions. The relationship implications extend far beyond simple present exchanges. When you consistently choose gifts that align with Capricorn values, you're communicating that you see them clearly, understand what drives their decisions, and respect their approach to life. This understanding builds trust and strengthens bonds in ways that go far deeper than the temporary pleasure of unwrapping packages. Capricorns remember thoughtful gift givers and invest more heavily in relationships with people who demonstrate genuine comprehension of their personality and preferences. Moving forward, Remember that the best Capricorn gifts often disguise their practical nature behind beautiful presentation. A gorgeous leather portfolio serves both aesthetic and professional purposes. A high-quality kitchen tool combines functionality with visual appeal. Classic jewelry pieces provide both personal adornment and investment value. The magic happens when utility and beauty converge in items that will enhance their lives for years to come. Your newfound knowledge about Capricorn gift preferences will transform every future shopping experience from potential relationship minefield into opportunity for deeper connection. You'll never again watch that polite smile freeze on their face when they unwrap something that violates their core principles about quality, purpose, and thoughtful consideration. If this deep dive into Capricorn psychology has opened your eyes to new understanding about the earth signs in your life, make sure to subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac right now so you never miss our detailed astrological insights that could save your relationships and deepen your connections. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're constantly creating content that reveals the hidden psychology behind every zodiac sign's behavior, patterns, and preferences. Take a moment to explore our other videos where we break down the complex motivations driving each sign's approach to love, career, friendship, and personal growth. We absolutely need your engagement to keep bringing you this quality astrological content every single day. Please hit that like button to help this video reach other people who need to understand Capricorn gift psychology before they make expensive mistakes. Leave a comment below sharing your own Capricorn gift experiences, whether you've been the giver who learned these lessons the hard way or the Capricorn recipient who suffered through awkward present exchanges. Your stories help our entire astrological community learn and grow together. If you found real value in this detailed analysis and want to support our mission of bringing you daily zodiac insights, please consider helping us through the Super Thanks feature. Your financial support directly helps cover our production costs and enables us to continue creating these in-depth explorations of astrological psychology every single day. Every contribution, no matter the size, makes a huge difference in our ability to maintain this consistent content schedule and invest in the research that makes our videos so detailed and accurate. This really would help our work tremendously and allow us to keep serving the astrological community with the quality content you deserve.